Morgan. Today we're going to be learning a Maimer from the Rebbe. It's a Gimel Tmuz Maimer, Toshin Chof Daled. It's a Maimer where the Rebbe explains what actually the Friedrich Rebbe explains about Ya'zvenu Kasher Ya'zvenu. We're asking for Hashem that He should be with us the way He was with our forefathers. He should not leave us and He should not forsake us. So I was going to go to explain in the Maimer this pasuk. But first asking a few questions. Number one, it's known the Sikha of the Balagiyud, meaning the Friedrich Rebbe, Sham Begimel Tmuz Tofresh Pezayin, which is said in Tofresh Pezayin when he got arrested, and it was that year, in Gimel Tmuz, that was when the Sikha said, we asked by Hashem, Hashem should be with us. Kasher, the way He was with our forefathers. Yatshenu, He should not leave us and He should not forsake us. Hashem is sein mituns, He should be with us in Yiddish. Sein mituns, and He surely will be with us. Kasher, as He was with our forefathers, referring to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. We need to understand requesting a bakasha, you're asking is different than a avtacha, a guarantee that you will receive. You're requesting, please give me something, and then avtacha, you're for sure going to get it. That's two different inyanim. Seemingly the opposites. Nevertheless, nevertheless, we ask by Hashem, He should be with us, and He will be with us. This request, it's not a request that only should be with us, but there's also a guarantee that He will be with us. Even though this word yeh has double meaning to it. Another one, it means a request and ask from Hashem, and also a guarantee from Hashem. Or a request to Hashem and a guarantee from Hashem. This is two different explanations. And it's all in one word. Yihi yeh. Yihi yeh. It's a request. It should be a request that we should get something, and then avtacha that we will get. Is also interpreted in the word yeh. And the Sikha, when the Friedrich Rebbe explains the Sikha, he explains it with those two explanations together. So we need to understand the differences. And the Friedrich Rebbe continues in his Sikha, this that we ask from Hashem, that Hashem should be with us, like He was with our forefathers. That it's a request, an ask, and a guarantee. So this is the Friedrich Rebbe adds and says, even though that we are not similar to our forefathers, nevertheless we're asking from Hashem that He should give us. We're asking in the guarantee that we're going to receive from Hashem. Even though we're not like our forefathers. That's what's added here. Even though we're not like our forefathers, nevertheless we should still get. How can we ask for such a thing? How can we ask? If we're not like for our fathers, so why should we get? Why do we deserve it? Yeah? If we're not behaving like them, and they got what they got because of the way they behaved, what they did, so why should we get it if we're not like them? The source for this explanation that we should give even though we're not like them. It's what it says in the Medrash. Shloime says in front of Hashem, that He is a king. That Hashem is like a king, which hires workers. And they do the work that's demanded from them. Very good. And He rewards them and He pays them. So what greatness is recognized in the king or is apparent in the king? What greatness is in the king if He's paying workers that do their job good? And He's paying them, obviously. When is he praiseworthy? When is there Maila recognizing the king? When he hires bad workers. They're not doing their work. And he gives them their reward. Their pay. And this is a great good deed. Yeah. And therefore, he says, therefore we could say, the should be with us, Imanu, together with us, Kasher, like he was, like our forefathers. This, and he explains in the Sikha, so why aren't we able to, in what aspect are we talking about here that our forefathers behaved in a certain way or did something that they received their a guarantee and they were able to request from Hashem? And what's different about us? What exactly are we talking about here? And explain to him, this, and we're not able to be similar like our forefathers. It's because they were Bala Mesiras Nefesh, B'foil, in actuality, Mamish, Al Torah v'mitzvahs, for Torah and mitzvahs. That's it. So what are we talking about that our forefathers did that they deserved to receive from the Eibishter? It's because they were Bala Mesiras Nefesh in actuality. For what? For Torah and mitzvahs. So when you understand, so now we have a question on the Friedrich Rebbe. When he said this Sikha, it's in connection with his being sent out to exile into Kastrama. The Golus, and even before that, the Master, the rest, it was in actuality for Torah and doing mitzvahs. So we say to Mazu, not only that, when he said this Sikha was also in the Mesiras Nefesh in actuality. Nevertheless, we say, the Friedrich Rebbe is saying, we're not similar to our forefathers, which they had Mesiras Nefesh. In the same time, when the Friedrich Rebbe is saying this, he's actually being Moiser. He's Moiser's Nafshe. He's giving over his soul. He's dedicating himself. He's totally given over and doing Torah mitzvahs till Mesiras Nefesh. So we have a question on the Friedrich Rebbe. How could he say that we're not similar, or at least he's not? So we're going to say now. Let's see inside. This request that we ask from, that the Friedrich Rebbe is asking the Bala Geula, that Hashem should be with us, and He's going to be with us. Not only He's asking for Himself, but He's asking for all Yidden. Even those that just have a name, Yisrael. So we're not emphasizing the Mesiras Nefesh. Therefore, the Friedrich Rebbe says we're not similar to our forefathers, which were Bala Mesiras Nefesh before in actuality. So the Rebbe is trying to explain the reason. The Rebbe is explaining the reason why the Friedrich Rebbe says that Hashem should be with like He was with our forefathers, and we're not similar to them, because the Friedrich Rebbe, when he's saying this, and he's asking this from Hashem, they should be with us, even though we're not like our forefathers. He's including all Yidden, including those that do not have Mesiras Nefesh. So you're right, some people do have Mesiras Nefesh, some don't have Mesiras Nefesh. But the Friedrich Rebbe is saying this pasuk is talking about everybody. Our beer is in a maspect, it's not enough explanation. Keep alosh and mir zainin. Noch nit gleich zu Aviseinu, Koil Gamasatzmo. If you were to say that the Friedrich Rebbe is saying we're talking about everybody, that even people that are not having Mesiras Nefesh right now, so then why did the Friedrich Rebbe saying mir? Mir sein doch nit gleich zu Aviseinu. We are not like our forefathers. He's talking about himself. So how could he say about himself when we're talking specifically about Mesiras Nefesh that he doesn't have Mesiras Nefesh, and at the time of the Maimer he's having Mesiras Nefesh for Torah and mitzvahs? So how could he say he's not like his forefathers with regards to Mesiras Nefesh? He is like his forefathers with regards to Mesiras Nefesh. Vein learn that klal gam as atzmoi bechlal ela she'einem bali Mesiras Nefesh before hu b'derech anova kinyan anova shayach dafke b'derech shebe'erech. And we cannot say vein learn that klal that he's including himself in the klal in general with everybody else that are not she'enum b'alim mesiras nefesh. Gam hu b'derech hanova is in a way of he's being humble, because when you're humble you have to be something humble with regards to something that's shaykh to you. Dafke b'davar shebe'erka is something that's similar to you. In your level there, and that's something that's similar. It's in your level you could be anova and humble with regards to it. So till now we explained the pasuk. We asked the question. Number one on Yihiyeh. We're asking question. Now I'm making a summary, and then we are going to continue Be'ezat Hashem tomorrow. We ask Hashem should be with us. Should be with us. Like he was with our forefathers, has two meanings, a double meaning. Number one, we're requesting, and number one, there's a guarantee. That's the first part of the Maimer. Next part of the Maimer is we ask the question with regards to what are we saying that we should be like our forefathers, even though we don't deserve it. Nevertheless, we should be our forefathers, and we bring an example for this for a king that hires workers and they're not good, and nevertheless he pays them, and nevertheless he gives them. That's the greatness of the king, that even if they're not doing their work, he still gives them, he still pays them. And now we pinpoint exactly what work are we talking about. We're talking about the work of Mesiras Nefesh, that our forefathers had Mesiras Nefesh, and the Frierdiker Rebbe is saying, even though we don't have Mesiras Nefesh like them, nevertheless we're going to get the haftacha, the bakasha and haftacha. So now we start asking the question, how can the Frierdiker Rebbe say this? If he's talking about everybody, fine, but he says it also about himself, that he's not having Mesiras Nefesh. At the time, he's actually having Mesiras Nefesh. And if he's shaykh to say anovo, that he's humble, he has to be shaykh to the inyan of, when you're humble about something, it has to be related to you on that level. How can he say about himself, as if he's not having Mesiras Nefesh? He's having Mesiras Nefesh. To be continued, Be'ezat Hashem, Morgan.